Look at these mediocre reviews. Ha! These guys wouldn't know a good game if it whacked them in the side of the head. Experience the rise of faith from a careless young woman to a heroine who opens the eyes of an entire city. Take a stand with faith and fight back against the oppression of the ruling elite. Totally immerse yourself with the fluid movement and combat in first person. Explore the beautiful city of glass. Really? Is that the name of the city? Free roaming from the highest skyscrapers to the dark and gritty tunnels that lie beneath, even though I made it through most of the game and didn't step 1 foot off a rooftop. I got this game on a deal for $5 George Washington, God bless the USA smackers. Origin games are constantly on sale. If you want to purchase this game for any more than $5, you're being ripped off. Or you could buy the collector's edition for $200. I played through the entire first game and had a blast with the parkour and unique level design, but overall didn't enjoy it very well. Plus the story was only a measly 6 hours long. This game's parkour looked to improve upon the last games, and that's what I was looking for. I didn't pick up this game for the story. I picked it up for the gameplay. Catalyst is only 8 hours long, which I suppose is okay, but I would have liked a lot longer of a game, especially since it's single player only, unless you want to count the community-made timed trials, which I don't. In general, lots of new features are added for a short time, but the game seems to just forget about them after the first time they're introduced. Let's first talk about the core gameplay. I mean, it's what you'd expect, but maybe a little worse. You'd be familiar with the parkour in this game if you've played the first. None of the core moves have been altered in any way. I don't see how they really could have, so that's fine with me. Sometimes Faith just doesn't do what I want her to. Occasionally, I'll swing from one post to another and the game will automatically fly off the second one, right off the edge of the map, assuming that I was trying to move fast and wanting to auto-jump to another pole that doesn't exist. I'll try to climb a wall and instead Faith will jump up the one next to it for no apparent reason. This even got me stuck in a glitch one time, but I was able to simply reload to the last checkpoint. Overall, the game is well optimized, I'd say. The graphics look good, aside from the terrible reflections that you can tell the developers put minimal effort into. The cutscenes look great as well, but they tend to interrupt the flow of the game with a short flash of light before one starts, rather than smoothly transitioning into one like the Batman Arkham series does. I believe I was able to get 60 FPS on close to ultra settings on a Ryzen 5 and a GTX 1050 Ti. There were no noticeable pauses, frame rate drops, or anything of that sort. There are a few new gadgets in this game, like the grapple hook and the disruptor. The game never uses these to the best of its ability though. With the grapple hook, for example, you're introduced to it and taught how to use it, but after the first moment, the game seems to forget that the hook even exists. 3 hours later, you'll see a part where you actually have to use it, and you'll say to yourself, "Oh crap, forgot that was a thing." I'm pretty sure that that's what was going through the developer's mind as well, so they just decided to quickly add it for a short duration every few hours to make sure that the gadget wasn't completely useless. Every time you do use the item, it's in the same way every time. The developers never find a creative way to implement it into the level design. Some of them can even slow down the gameplay, like how sometimes you have to stop to pull down a wall with your grapple hook. This just ruins the pace. Same thing with the collectibles. Rather than an item that is automatically collected when your character runs over it, you get to stop running, pull this little CPU or RAM stick thing out of a box, and then continue on your way. I collected as many of these as I could, and I honestly still don't know the purpose of them. I think they're just there to waste time and make the game that much longer. Another great feature they added is focus. Focus is a little bar at the bottom of the screen that fills up the more you run and stay in motion. If you stop moving or climb a ladder, the bar will go down. When the bar fills all the way up, you're supposed to be able to dodge bullets, but that never seemed to work for me, so the feature was completely pointless. Even if it did work, you're usually not running away from anyone with a gun, so it would be extremely situational. The bar would also never be filled in the first place since Faith can't handle falling half an inch off the ground. You should never be running away from an enemy though. Combat is always the best option since the AI is mentally disabled and the ones with guns conveniently choose not to shoot at you while you're fighting someone else. The last thing to mention with gameplay is the point/perk system. Some of the perks that you can unlock should be automatically unlocked. One of them is the ability to climb pipes and ladders faster. I don't understand why the developers would even make your character slower in the first place. This game is all about movement and being fast, but DICE decided to deliberately slow down your character just so they could add another perk to the game. Some of these abilities are also ones that were already in the last game, but now have to be unlocked, like the ability to crouch while jumping in the air. This is useful for getting over things like barbed wire fences. Too bad I didn't encounter a single one, so that perk went completely unused throughout the whole game. I bought a perk that allowed me to wall run on 2 different walls without hitting the ground. I never used it, which is a shame. For each mission, there's only 1, maybe 2 ways to reach your destination. There's never any cool path that you can only take if you have a certain ability unlocked. The perk system shouldn't have even been in the game in my opinion. There are very few perks, 90% of which are useless, and they're all way too easy to get. Without doing any side missions, I had most of the perks already unlocked really early in the game. The only thing keeping me from having all of them was the fact that some of them are locked until you get past a certain point in the game. Overall, the gameplay is pretty solid, but after a few hours it gets extremely repetitive. DICE somehow managed to make Mirror's Edge parkour boring, which I must applaud them for because I did not think that was possible. I really think this game would have been better off if it was linear like the first game. The open world to me just feels like a way to add cheap, boring, time-wasting side missions into the game. Whereas Mirror's Edge had a new feel and a different environment for every level, Mirror's Edge Catalyst is basically the same jumps and wall runs over and over again, just in a different order each time. This game isn't worth getting for the gameplay, because there's just nothing interesting here about it. Although I have mixed feelings about the first game, I respect that it kept me playing. The gameplay and level design was great, and the story was okay, but it kept me coming back for more, which is what a story is meant to do. Catalyst's story almost made me quit this game halfway through. In fact, there really isn't much of a story to begin with. I played 6 or 7 hours of Catalyst, and this is what I can tell you. There's a guy who doesn't like people who do parkour. You have to find a way to take him down somehow. Yeah, that's about it. If this game didn't take its time, it would probably be around 2 hours long. Instead, it's 8.5 hours of missions that feel utterly pointless. A lot of the missions are ones where I have to steal a USB drive for some info on the main villain, or destroy a building to make him mad, I guess? Yeah, that'll help the situation. But the point is that you don't see this ever working. I was constantly having to scale huge buildings to press a button at the top that supposedly helped the main character's cause, but I never got to see this in action. I felt like I was doing it for nothing. After blowing up a huge, supposedly crucial building to the main villain, Faith simply moves on to the next one and nothing changes. There are also constantly runners that go missing or get themselves into trouble that you have to go save real quick before you can destroy the next skyscraper. It feels so cheap. The characters aren't even worth saving though. There is not one person in this game that I could connect with. Not even the main character, Faith. There are 2 characters in this game that are crucial to the main story and that, until the middle of the game, I thought were the same person. The voice actors sound the same, they act the same, and they look the same. It's not until I noticed that they were being called different names that I realized it wasn't just one guy. I can't even remember what the characters' names were though, even after that situation. That's how forgettable they were. Every person is either making you question their existence in this game, or making you roll your eyes at their cliche stereotype personality. One of these was a girl named Plastic. She was the average hacker girl. I guess Faith doesn't know how to access a USB drive, so instead she got her hacker friend to break into it for her, which, by the way, will take around 3 months to do, unless Faith can break into a building and press a button for her. Faith was a mystery in the first game, but this time around she has a backstory. Oh boy, this ought to be good. So her parents did something wrong, who knows what, so the government or something kills them and tries to gas their kids. These two kids are Faith and her younger sister. While running away from these people who seemingly killed their parents for no reason, the toxins cause Faith's little sister to collapse. Faith hopelessly tries to shake and wake up her sister, because I guess the gas just doesn't affect her for some reason, but eventually she's forced to leave her sister behind. What happened to Faith's little sister is a mystery. Towards the middle of the game, a new villain appears. She's an Asian girl who's only a little younger than Faith. I wonder if there'll be some kind of plot twist involving her and Faith's missing little sister. If you're freaking out because I just spoiled the game for you, I didn't. I have no idea if this girl is Faith's sister or not. You see, I never finished the game. There are 15 missions in total, and I completed 10. For some reason, the 11th mission never showed up on the minimap for me, meaning that I couldn't do it. That is where I stopped. I tried to find out a fix to this bug, but no one seems to have the answer. I'm kind of glad though that this happened to me. I was eager to be done with this game. Maybe it was some kind of sign from an elemental spirit telling me that this game was deteriorating my brain. You've seen the mediocre reviews that this game received, but I feel like those review sites are being a little too generous. I'm not the kind of guy to score a game, but if I had to pit this on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it a 3 at most. There are no redeeming qualities about this game. The only half fun thing about it was the first hour of parkour. That's it. If you're really interested in this game, go ahead and get it for $5. Everyone has his or her own experience. Maybe mine just happened to be worse than everyone else's, and $5 for an 8-hour game ain't half bad of a deal. But for everyone else, this one is definitely a skip. The gameplay isn't fun and the non-existent story sucks. If you haven't played the first game, you can probably get it for around the same price as this one, and you don't have to play that one on EA Origin, so that's another negative about Catalyst. Well, anyway, my PC specs and other info are in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll probably do a review on Batman Arkham Knight someday, maybe. See you next time.